Good morning, everybody. It is such a pretty day out today. It's not hot and muggy yet, but it's going to get there. We got a little bit of rain and it cools some stuff down. But I was just going to show you what's going on this morning. There's some beans and they're growing. And birdseed has been dropped and sunflowers are growing right inside where I usually weed eat because that's where I walk, but I'm going to let them grow. More beans. My lantana, which is always like out of control by the end of the season. More beans. And these are growing really well. I'll come over here and show you what kind of beans they are. These are not growing too well. I don't know if the bean seed were like really super old. I think the rabbit ate a lot of them. So, I don't know. Anyway, I was going to show you. This is my brown turkey fig tree, and I just planted it last year. So let's zoom in here and see. We have figs growing. See those figs? Oh, I love brown turkey figs. Okay, so I will put the name of the beans that I have down here in the description box, but I have planted two different kinds on each side here because, like I said, the beans that were given to me, a lot of them were very old seed, and I didn't know if they were going to germinate. Then, when the rabbit came and ate, I didn't have any other of the same seed to replace it. So, what I did was I just planted two different kinds. I planted a cowpea. Yeah, that's Hog Brains Cowpea, and these other beans were vine Kenearly Pole. So you're going to tell the difference between a bean and a pea. So that's why I did that. And beans and peas are not supposed to cross. So, but I don't worry about that anyway, because beans usually don't cross anyway. This Bandy Lima Pole. And I always write on here whether it's dry, shell, fresh, snap, whatever. So I guess that's the only thing I had on that one. And this one, I think I only had the one on here too. Let me get that off. Anellino striped pole, and it's a snap bean. So it's growing. It's just not doing very well, and I just hit my head on a bird feeder. This is the white willow leaf, shell or dry. I didn't think that was going to grow at all because those seeds were real old. But look, well, it's taken off. Okay, I'll walk over here and show you what I have. We just have a little garden. It's not very big at all. So, but we just like to try to grow and just try out different things because you never know what you like until you try something different. My extended family thinks I'm nuts because, well, you don't grow enough of stuff to eat. Well, yeah, we do. We just don't grow it in abundance, not enough to can yet. But once we find out what we like, then we'll start growing a lot more of it. There's plenty of time. We have a long growing season. These are the Hell's Best cantaloupes. They are grown inside of a hay bale. Look how nice those are growing. Growing pretty nice. And don't look at that. I don't know why I showed you that because that's just a big dirt pile. This is my comfrey, and I'm so proud of it, people, because when it first started growing, the deer and the rabbit would come and they would eat it down. So finally, I've got comfrey growing. Now, Angela at Park Rose Permaculture, she was showing a video how you tell the difference between comfrey and some other plant. But she showed that hers flowered out. Well, mine flowered out. And this is after the flowers fell off. And I think they make like little seed pods. But I'm not sure I'm not really real sure. I know you can propagate them from root cuttings, but I don't know if these make seed pods where you can just plant the seeds, and I don't know what happened there. Just pull that off. Anyway, I'm hoping she'll answer me and let me know something, because I'm pretty new when it comes to comfrey. I want to grow a lot of it around my other trees and stuff, but I got to know a little bit more about it. And these are the pears growing on the pear tree. So we're going to have pears this year, if I can keep the deer from eating all of them, and the squirrels, because the squirrels eat them too. Somebody tell me, put a net on it. I can't put a net on it. It's just awkward the way the tree grew. It's just awkward. So we'll just try to get what I can get. Mints, that is peppermint. In the middle is my poor little tiny rosemary that I'm trying to keep going. I don't know what's going on with it. And I don't know a lot about rosemary either. Am I supposed to keep it in a sunny place all day long, or half sun, half shade? What does rosemary like? Please help me out and let me know, because I don't know a lot about that either. That is spearmint, and it's looking pretty sad. That over there in the back is chocolate mint. And I'm going to take all this stuff out of these containers, hopefully before too long, and I'm going to take a lot of snippings and I'm going to root them in water, and I'll do a video on that. But I'm going to put these probably around some of the other trees we have in the yard for ground cover. These are some red ripper peas. More red rippers. Finally, it's growing something on it. Look at that. Maybe we'll climb. And coming in here, my tomato plants, which, I don't know, I have some tomatoes on here somewhere. There they are. They're all hiding down in there. See? These are supposed to be beefsteak tomatoes, so I don't know. We'll see. And this right here are pumpkins that I have growing out of a hay bale. So I don't have room inside here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let these pumpkins grow out over the vine, grow out over the fence, and grow out on the ground right there. I went to the Dollar Tree, and I just got one of these, the $1.25 tree, I'm sorry. And I just got one of these noodles, and what I'm going to do is cut it, and then I'm going to put it over the top of here, so when this vine grows over, it won't be so sharp, and it'll be easier on the stem. So this is just a little something I thought of. Beans, I got peas coming up right there, but these right here are beans. So again, the rabbit ate a whole bunch of my beans, so I had to replace it with peas. And then I put, well, where did that go? Well, I have a dead tomato plant, so I'll have to replant that with a different one. But the other ones are looking pretty good. I put those in the front. This was a squash plant. Did not have a label in it, but it started growing like a vine, so I think this is a winter squash, and I think it's a butternut, because look. Doesn't that look like a butternut squash to you guys? Anyway, I don't even eat butternut squash, so if it is butternut squash and I get some, then I'll just give it to somebody that likes butternut squash, just because it's not me. I have a couple of yellow crookneck. That one's looking pretty sad. It's got, I don't know. It just looks sad. So I got those. I've got, let's see, some bell pepper plants are growing. This is the only one that's not a bell pepper plant. It's a, what is that? What is that? It's an Anaheim. Yeah, look at that. That's pretty. Got some okra growing. And I did not realize that these bell pepper plants were going to overshadow my okra. But before too long, the okra is going to be taller than those. Look at that. That's full of tomatoes. And I don't know what the name of that one is because I lost the label to that too. So if it's some I lose the label to, I do not save the seeds from. There's a Black Beauty. And this over here is a Raw Denise. This was from Old Seed. And I didn't think they were going to even be good at all. But just one came out, so I ordered some more. That's how you spell it, Raw Denise. These are great. These are a kind of zucchini squash, and they're round, and they are delicious. They almost kind of have like a sweet taste to them. So I ordered some more seed from rareseeds.com, which is Baker Creek Seeds, and they're based out of Mansfield, Missouri. So Jared Gettle, I think, is the guy that owns it. But I love Baker Creek because anytime I've ever gotten anything that was remotely bad, they replaced my money and replaced my seeds. No questions asked. So here is my Egyptian walking onions. So once you plant Egyptian walking onions, I'm telling you, they will start multiplying and you will always have onions. It might not be the big round fat onions that you might like or might be used to, but they're onions and they taste oniony. They're just like any other onion. You can cook with them or do whatever. Here's some more tomato plants. They're looking pretty fine. Different kinds, of course. More cowpeas and beans. And that. This right here is just a wildlife bed. I'm going to save some seeds off of that. So I got all sorts of junk growing in here. I don't even know what's what. It's just seed that I don't like from vegetables I didn't like or whatever, or some old stuff, and I just threw it in here. Kale, I don't know what that is. That's kohlrabi. Yep, that's those two. You see that? And that is kohlrabi. So I'm not a big kohlrabi fan. I tried it, and I don't really care for it. Onions. That was garlic, I believe. That's garlic, and it's went to seed. So next year I'll have some big cloves of garlic in there because that is what they call the elephant garlic. So, and it's a bunch of strawberry ground cover that I have to move. There's always so much to do when you have a home, and a lot of times you just can't get to everything. I got some beans growing there. I fluffed this up a little bit yesterday. I didn't worry about picking no weeds or any of that out. As you can tell, what I did was I just fluffed it up, and then I came in here and I just broadcasted so many zinnia seed in here. So hopefully they'll grow and make a big old bed of zinnia flowers. It'd be so pretty. I love zinnias. Here I have the Ben Kodama watermelon starting to go through the fence. I had to weed eat right there. I've got that growing out of that hay bale with some collards, which I got to thin out. One carrot. My carrot seed didn't grow. Y'all have the worst luck with carrot seed. So I just did pretty much the same thing. I put collard greens in these little cups going down, so I'm just going to have to space those out. This is a Queen Anne acorn squash, which is looking good. This is a ancient watermelon. They make the best watermelons. If you haven't tried them, you need to. Again, rareseeds.com. I got the seeds from Baker Creek. And last but not least, over here is the Space Master 80 cucumber. And those are looking really well. And I'm just going to have to train it to go over the fence also. So that was it for today. Oh, yeah. And let me show you over here. I've got lemon squash. Again, from Baker Creek. They only get as big as a lemon. So That's a new one for me. And you always have to have some kind of basil in your garden. That smells so good. Okay, with that, hope you guys have a great day.